Hey guys, I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and today we are going to be going through the top 10 weapons in Rainbow Six Siege, but this is only for the attacking side. I will make a future video on the defense side if you wish. Just before we get started with today's video, I just want to let you know that this is a personal opinion, just like my previous video, which if you have not checked out, it is my tier list on all the maps in Rainbow Six Siege. Without further ado, let's get into my top 10 weapons for attack. So coming in at the number 10 spot, we have the AK-12 for Fuse. Now this weapon is a base. It's a shame that it's for a operator that is a free armor, so they walk really slow. But if this weapon was on a free speed, oh my god, this would be amazing. The AK-12 has damage of 45, a fire rate of 850. And I believe the AK actually has like one of the highest DPS in the game, if not the highest, with 45 damage and a fire rate of 850. Do you know how fast that would kill someone? However, I do think the recoil on this weapon though is slightly bad, but obviously you can master that. So for any Fuse mains out there, I'm sure if you've mastered the recoil, the AK-12 can become a beast. Coming in at the number 9 spot, we have the AR-33 that belongs to Thatcher. Now I believe Thatcher is the only operator that has this assault rifle. The AR-33 has a damage of 41 and a fire rate of 749. It has a DPS of 530, so that means for every second this will deal 530 damage. The only problem I have with this weapon is the recoil again, just like the previous slot in the AK-12. The recoil is slightly weird with this weapon. Like, it feels like there's not really a pattern you can follow and then master. Like, it feels random every time, and the recoil just feels like it goes around like in a circle, like how how Ella's Scorpion does. But then other than that, I think the AR-33 is like really good. High DPS, and it just melts people. Coming in the number 8 spot, we have the M4 that belongs to Maverick. Now this weapon I love this weapon. Now it's very low down on the list, but that's only because every other weapon in this game is better than this. But this weapon, it has 44 damage, fire rate of 750. The recoil is really good. It just goes up in a straight line, so you can just pull back down in a straight line to master that recoil. Really good weapon, just to, you know, go out there, get a triple kill. Just overall really good. High mobility. This weapon melts. Coming in the number 7th spot, we have the 5.52 Commando assault rifle that belongs to IQ. Now this weapon has a damage of 48 and a fire rate of 690, so that means it does have a really high DPS. I believe so anyway. But this weapon is really strong. She is a free speed as well, so the weapon just makes it really good for her. But bear in mind, we're just looking at the weapon alone, not the operator it belongs to. But yeah, the weapon alone, 30 round magazine like most weapons, just melts people. It's just like just a casual AR that is just all around really good. Really good recoil, easy to control. And like I've said with most of these weapons, this weapon melts. Now coming in with the 6th spot, we have the L85A2 assault rifle that belongs to Sledge. I'm pretty sure this is one of the most known weapons in the game. But this weapon has a damage of 47 and a fire rate of 670. The recoil is like one of the best in the game. It's such a easy gun to learn the recoil for. Really good at long range combat as well. The DPS on this weapon is 530. I personally prefer this weapon over the AR-33 though, but that does not make the AR-33 a bad weapon. Now I'm only saying that for Thatcher and not for Sledge. Obviously Sledge doesn't get the AR-33. But yeah, the L85A2 I just feel like is like just an all around dominant weapon. If you're new to the game, I recommend you use this weapon just to kind of get used to the mechanics and weapons. But this weapon is really good at even long range. Recoil is so good and the damage. Now coming in at the number 5 spot, we've just gotten to the top 5. The number 5 spot is the M76 Stable assault rifle that belongs to Thaqil. Now this is actually one of my personal favourite. Now I say that, but it's only in the 5th spot, but This, I love this weapon so much. Just kind of think of this as like a sort of AK-47, but more of a, I don't know, like this, it's kind of like an AK, but it's not at the same time. It's hard to explain, but this weapon's recoil has to be like the best in the game, if not the best, as far as I can think of, I believe anyway. Yeah, it has to be the best. The DPS is perfect on this weapon. My favourite thing though is obviously the recoil, as I've mentioned like 50,000 times. But please give this weapon a try if you haven't really like played Zofia that much. This weapon, like, I feel like I could just go across the map and I will still be able to kill someone. Headshot across the map easy. Obviously 45 damage, 735 rate, really good. Just overall, just good, you know. Coming in at the number 4th spot, we have the R4C for Ash. Now, I probably would have placed this higher, but the only reason I didn't is because it doesn't have an ACOG anymore. So that has brought the weapon down. But nonetheless, the weapon itself is really good. Really high fire rate, just good damage. Really suits Ash's playstyle, but the weapon alone, the recoil is really good. DPS is one of the highest in the game as well, 560 DPS. So you can just rush sight and demolish and melt people with this weapon. Although it does have a holographic, this is still really good at long range. The recoil is easy to control. This weapon, I love it so much. I love it. I just love it. Do you love it? I love it. Coming in at the number 3 spot, we have Hibana's Type 89. Now this weapon is really good. It has damage of 40, a fire rate of 850. The recoil is fairly easy. I wouldn't say it has the best recoil, but it is fairly easy to control once you get good with it. The only downside to this weapon is obviously it only having 21 bullets per mag, which is a massive downside, and obviously the high fire rate, you're going to melt through people and then have to reload. But even then you can switch to the Bearing 9. But as this list is talking about the weapons alone, Type 89, really good weapon, melts people. I think it has a DPS, or I'm not too sure for the DPS, but I imagine it'd be really high. But yeah, this melts people. Coming in the number 2 spot, we have Thaqil's C7E. Now I believe this has one of the highest DPS in the game. The damage for this is 46 and the fire rate of 800. The recoil is really good, capacity of 30, so you don't run out of ammo quickly. Now it has damage of 46, so just imagine that's like 2 bullets to get them like 4 HP. I don't know maths, but just think 3 bullets to fully kill someone with a fire rate of 800. Do you know how fast you can kill people? I think the only downside to this is it's not really good at long range. I mean, it can be good at long range if obviously you're good with the recoil, but when I play with this assault rifle, it seems very, like the recoil seems very random, like it goes around in a circle, like Ellis Scorpion, like it's kind of just random. But other than that, this assault rifle is really good, and it's in the number 2 spot, so obviously, you know, I think it's really good. And just before I get into the number 1 spot, let me know down below which is your favourite weapon and which is your worst. Now, coming in at the number 1 spot, which I'm sure you already know what it is because it hasn't been the other 9, and it's one of the best weapons in the game, so it's none other than the F2 that belongs to Twitch, with a damage of 37 and a fire rate of 980. This weapon has a DPS of 637. This thing, can you just comprehend that in your head? Within 1 second, this thing deals 600 plus damage. And every operator has 100 health. You could, if you had 6 people lined up all behind each other, you could melt through all of them in a second. Do you know how crazy that is? Within a second. Obviously the only downside to this is the recoil. I believe the F2 recently got a recoil nerf. I think it was in the most recent patch, I'm not too sure, or the patch before. But yeah, this weapon melts through people. It's insane how like good it is. But obviously, like Buck's weapon, you do have to master the recoil on this for it to be good. But this thing is a monster of just melting through people. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. So that's my top 10 weapons. Like I said, Let me know which are your top 10 weapons, and if there's any other videos you'd like me to make, then let me know in the comments down below. And other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and goodbye.